Hey guys, my name is Tetos and in this video I'm going to tell you how to play Kalista like Rekkles. As last time, I will give you not only recommended runes, masteries or champion combos, but also a general game plan as well as how to play the laning phase and team fights. Please watch Riot's champion spotlight and take a look at the LoL wiki champion page first if you don't know the champion well. I've also linked both of these in the description and I've put time codes for each chapter down below. Pick heal and flash every game on Kalista because who doesn't like the best escape spell for AD carries in the game, and heal is necessary to win bottom lane all-ins. The only difference for these three rune pages that Rekkles is running on Kalista is the glyphs used, so either he goes for the flat attack speed, the flat MR or the scaling MR. The interesting thing is that the standard page features attack speed glyphs, so he goes for the flat MR versus early AP threats in lane only, so even if there is for example a Thresh and an AP Gragas jungle, he wouldn't pick up the flat MR, he would go for the attack speed. But if there is an Annie or a Nautilus, which has a lot of AP damage at level 6, which you can't dodge because it just puts the ultimate down first and then lands the hook and the E and the W, so he would pick the magic resist glyphs, the flat ones, against this setup. The scaling MR glyphs are picked up when you're facing a team which doesn't have a strong early AP threat in lane or in the jungle, but in mid and top for example, and you can't dodge their spells or CC. For Masteries, Rekkles is using a standard 21-9 and 0 AD carry page. There's nothing to say about the defense tree, it's just standard, but for the offense tree it should be noted that you want to focus on attack speed, attack damage, overall hybrid penetration, and the ultimate talent of course. I want to note that he sometimes or rarely picked up the Frenzy Mastery, but if you follow his item build, you should never pick it up because it gives you attack speed on critical hits. Since you never build a critical chance item anyway, you should never spend a point on this mastery. The basic skill order on Kalista should be R before E before Q before W, while putting a point into W, E and Q at level 1, 2, 3. The reason why you always start Q is so you can do the jungle camp start at level 1, so either Gromp or Crux with your support. Kalista allows you to do that very easily, and the percentage health based auto attack proc basically helps to do that very quickly. Then you max the E first of course because you want to get the rend damage up as soon as possible. W is maxed last simply because it's some kind of 1 point wonder. You don't need to max it. The Q damage, the increased Q damage is better. Let's talk about item builds. Always start with the Doran's Blade pot and Warding Totem, standard AD carry start. And for your core items, try to finish Berserker's Greaves, either Bloodthirster or Blade of the Ring King into Hurricane, into the Orb Trinket, which replaces the Warding Totem of course. Now for your mid-game goals, you want to finish at least 3 items, so of course the Hurricane is second item always, then Blade of the Ring King or BT, and then either a Last Whisper or the other lifesteal item which you haven't picked up yet. For your full build for example, you can go for Blade of the Ring King, Bloodthirster, Hurricane, Last Whisper into Mercurial Scimitar. Essential consumables are listed here because every AD carry should focus on picking up pots or wards when necessary, as well as to pick up the elixir if he wants to press his advantage. Situational items include Banshee's Wail, Mercurial Scimitar, as well as Quicksilver Sash of course, and Home Guard Enchant. Now, you pick up the Banshee's Wail usually when you can't really avoid incoming CC or damage, mainly for spells that you can't cleanse away. Now, this includes for example Gragas Ultimate or Orianna Ultimate, so for other disables such as Urgot Ultimate, Fiddle Fear, Lulu Polymorph, you would pick up a Quicksilver Sash because these are targeted CCs which can't be dodged, and you can simply remove them with a Quicksilver Sash and jump around and dodge the other spells. The Cheese Tower Push Threat Elixir of Sorcery is listed here because I wanted to include it. Rekkles picked it up in a single game because it actually gives true damage on every auto attack without a cooldown against turrets. So if you somehow want to push into the enemy base quickly and nobody's paying attention to you, you can do that very quickly with a Hurricane, Bloodthirster and this Elixir of Sorcery. Other than that, it's very standard build, not a lot of variation there, but still you need to take a lot of things into account whether you want to pick up the Mercurial Scimitar or the Banshee's Wail as your defensive item. Finding a support main who understands Kalista as well might sound a little bit silly, but it's probably one of the easiest things you can do to increase your win rate on this champion, because a support main who knows how to combo his spells with Kalista ultimate, that he can last hit for Kalista if he does it at the right time with the W spell, Things like this are essential and can increase your win rate quite heavily. And also, Rekkles has played with Yellow Star a lot to get rank 1 on EU West once again. You want to abuse your W also for the jungle camp start on support and AD carry to get level 2 first and then try to all in. Abuse this as much as possible. Learn how to dodge skill shots hopping sideways, because many people either jump backwards or forwards, but sideways is a better direction if you want to dodge most of the skill shots aimed at you. I will show you a basic Harrison combo quite soon. You should use this to your advantage in the third lane dominance, because Kalista is very good at doing that. Eventually whittle the enemy down, either force them out of lane or kill them. You also need to know how to save your support and when to save your support with your ultimate, for example, and how to initiate fights with your ultimate, which not many people in AD carry need to know. Ashe would be another candidate for this, but other than that, nobody really knows how to initiate fights well with AD carry. Then you also need to abuse your trademark ability, which is the Rend of course, to secure dragons and barons. Finally, you need to know which CC or incoming abilities you can dodge and which you have to dodge. So you can't probably dodge everything, but you need to know what is important to dodge, how to position, how to select the right targets. And once again, a good support who peels for you can really help you to carry harder. Let's talk about some Kalista combos, which are usually combined with auto attacks. The first one is an auto attack E combo. It's just a basic last hit combo or trading combo you can use to get some additional damage. Also, next one is the auto attack Q and E combo. As we all know, you can transfer the spears if your Q ability kills a target and hits the next target behind it, so this allows for easier stacking. Now for the trading combo in lane that I've promised you. You want to auto attack a champion, auto attack a creep, get it low, and then get the mana return and reset with E. You can also play around and, use Q instead of auto attacks on the creeps to auto attack on the creep or the champion first, as in this case you auto attack the creep first, then Q the champion, and then E get the reset and the mana refund. Don't forget that you can combo your ultimate with many support abilities such as Blitzcrank Hook, Leona ultimate, Annie ultimate, or simply a Thresh Lantern. Let's talk about Kalista's strong laning phase and how to abuse it. First off, in the last guide I've talked about early invades on the bottom lane, so you use these wards as shown in these clips to counteract this. So whenever the bottom lane enemy duo shows up, you just leave the Gromp, leave the Crux and go to lane without taking too much damage or even giving up first blood. The camps itself are cleared very easily on Kalista and support because of the W, as I said earlier. You just want to juggle the aggro around a little bit so nobody takes like more than half health damage. Then for the Crux, you will notice that they start on the big one and then switch to the small one, finish it off, then go back to the big one. This is of course done to maximize your W damage, which does percentage based health of course. And I don't know if you followed the procs, but let me tell you that they've procced the W 4 times in this clip. Abuse your level 2 power spike as hard as possible, even in this clip where Kalista gets pulled and knocked up by Blitzcrank, so very good engaged by Blitz. He manages to get the turnaround and Alistair picks up the kill on Lucian and Kalista doesn't even die. I've already showed you the basic trading combo, which looks like this, as I said. You always want to auto attack the enemy champions and auto attack the creeps to get the mana refund and the cooldown reset, so you can do this endlessly basically, and then eventually all in or just force the enemy out of lane or zone them heavily, like as you can see in this clip. Let's take a look how you can play Kalista to perfection as in this clip. So you can see that he dodges every single skill shot, finally gets hit by the Balrog. But it's too late and Jinx didn't even use heal because the E burst was so high and unexpected, so you can really push your advantage very hard and abuse Kalista's laning phase. Another 1v1 follows against Lucian. As you can see here, he has the summoner heal advantage, and also the very high E burst also catches Lucian off guard, he doesn't even back off. A very small tip I want to throw in here is that you should auto tag wards in the brushes to help your support to clear them and keep up the pressure. Let's talk about wave management or freezing waves for a second here. In this clip you can see that the enemy Jinx pushed the wave very hard and tried to get it into the turret to make the wave reset, but instead of clearing the wave himself, Rekkles decides to freeze it. He clears the melee creeps but freezes the 3 caster creeps here. He goes back, gets his items and goes back to lane. Now the wave is sitting in front of his turret instead of in the middle of the lane, which allows him to lane very safely and avoid jungle ganks pretty easily. Let's talk about team fighting on Kalista. Rekkles always manages to hop and dodge most of the incoming CC and damage. In this clip you can see how the Blitzcrank and Sejuani want to dive him, but a very good Kalista ultimate and of course the Alistar helped to peel for him. Did you notice how he dodged the Victor laser? He did, otherwise he would have died. This clip demonstrates how you should play Kalista and teammates perfectly, dancing at the edge of the fight, dodging most of the important CC. So for example, the Orianna ult gets dodged, while of course it got hit by the Gnar ultimate, but then again you can't really dodge that. Also, Gragas ultimate didn't do a lot, but he gets the triple, gets the quadra, gets the ace for the team, and then they push on to a victory of course. Let's talk about key factors on playing Kalista. You want to maximize your ability usages of course to secure a victory. So for example the W, very easy to use, but don't forget to use it when you split push. Don't rely on just wards. You can use this in conjunction and stay safe when split pushing. Second clip shows exactly the same scenario, or similar at least, where you use the sentinels to scout the river so you're safe from incoming river ganks. As he spots the Draven here, the enemy team rotated to Dragon, he backs up safely. Don't forget that you can jump across thin walls with the Kalista Q, so if you're in trouble and want to reposition, use the Q to get out. It's roughly the same range as Gravestash. To save mana and the E cooldown, always try to get it on 2 creeps and kill them with the E. This way you will never run out of mana and you will always have the E up to trade with your enemies. While it's fun to all-in the enemies, sometimes it's smarter to hold into your ultimate, as in this case, when Thresh gets counter-ganked so to speak and he uses the ultimate to save Thresh and himself with the Lantern combo. Smart AD carriers will know when to freeze or when to push a wave. In this scenario you want to freeze it because neither Thresh nor Kalista have the escape spells up. So while you might win an all-in against the Ashe Bard lane, you really don't want to be over-aggressive or reckless. Okay, that was bad. That was a bad one. But you really don't want to be too aggressive, and it's way safer to last hit or freeze the wave in front of your turret like this. The best League of Legends player know how to press their advantage as heavy as possible, and while some players might simply take the turret here and then go back immediately, Rekkles and Yellowstar know better. They deny as much or as many CS as possible from the enemy Ashe, and it really shows their, efficiency to really press an advantage, get every little bit, and don't allow Ashe to get back into the game. Playing with Kalista on support can allow for some very aggressive turret diving, so in this clip you can see that Yellowstar tanks up as many shots as possible and then gets saved by the Kalista ultimate. Do you think just any support would have trusted their AD carry to save them? I don't think so. But you can even dive harder. In this scenario, they dive the inhibitor turrets, so a very, very, very interesting thing to do at this early into the game. But they don't give a damn about anything. They stack the spears, they get the huge Rend proc off, get another kill, and he's godlike at this point. Finally, I want to show you once again the immense dragon control or baron control that Kalista offers. So the spears just get stacked, stacked and stacked. Yellowstar gets caught here, but he gets saved by the ultimate. He gets the E proc off, huge amounts of damage, no way the enemy can smite that, and everybody gets out alive. For Baron it's similar because nobody really can outsmite a Kalista who has stacked tons and tons of spears on the Baron. So while the enemy team even have an Ashe and they put out the Hawkshot as you can see right now, they know that they are doing Baron, 5 versus 5 are up, they aren't really in position to contest this because the spears are already there, Bard ultimate comes out, but no way in hell that anybody can outsmite the Kalista who's already put tons and tons of spears on the Baron. So they get the free Baron, they even get out of the pit right here. And you can just see how strong it is, 1.4k damage instantly with the E, just like that. I hope you know now how important it is to have a support player you can trust and rely on. Additionally, of course, Skype or TeamSpeak or any voice chat really helps to get the communication going, get the combos down, help him to last hit you, how to save him, when to save him, how he should peel for you to win the fights and enable you to carry games harder. I see you've made it to the new and updated end screen, so on the right hand side you should see the previous Bard guide as well as a link to the playlist with every Play Like a Pro episode. Thanks so much for liking and sharing this video. As always, you can leave a comment down below on what guide I should do next. That's the end basically. Thanks for watching once again. Until next time, bye bye.